Broadcasting from Hollywood, it's the official On Air with Brandon J podcast. Here we go.
Welcome back. We're here at the World Web 3 conference in beautiful, sunny Orlando, Florida. Jason Neubauer, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. You got an interesting story. Being an entrepreneur since 23, you got so many incredible things going on. Tell us, what has it been like to be able to inspire other entrepreneurs?
I mean, unfortunately, I think it comes through a lot of pain, and a lot of lessons learned, I mean, it's like the truth of being an entrepreneur.
Bootstrapping, right?
Look, I mean, I could sit here and tell you a great story about from Wheel of Fortune to Shark Tank and building 3 successful companies, but the journey, those peaks come with a lot of valleys, right? And that's what nobody really talks about, right? So my mission now with Effect Change is really all about teaching when I have a fish, how to empower each other, how to help each other. It's not what can I take from you in order to get to the next level? And I think that I don't feel like I had a lot of help in the early days along my journey. I was pretty much just YOLO and made a lot of mistakes. And I think that we're going into this different world, and I'm really passionate about creating things and content that prove that we don't have to step on each other to win. So that's what I care about most now.
So let's talk about the metaverse, right? I haven't asked any of these questions. Where do you think this thing is going? What do you think some of the disconnects have been of why to really walk into it the way they were anticipating it? With Zuckerberg, he's talked about all of these different things we're the metaverse, but there's other things like the Central Land and different things like that.
I mean, it's the ease of use isn't there yet, right? In order to have mainstream adoption, they gotta basically be going into it without knowing that they're going into it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's until it's a seamless process, for the actual user, it'll take time. I think it's gone a lot better. I think that you're gonna start to. There's a lot of good emerging tech. I think that there was a huge hype about it, in the beginning, but it's gonna catch up. It's like anything, right? I remember when I bought Ethereum in 2017 and people thought I was crazy, right? Now everybody owns Ethereum.
Dude, Bitcoin was $3,200 a coin back in 2018, I believe. Yeah. And now look at it.
I know. I think I got Ethereum at 19 or something like that. It was pretty crazy. But it was also, I think it's anything that you're doing in tech and in the future, you really, and being an entrepreneur, you're betting on yourself, right? And it's hard when you're not seeing that, the direct correlation to everyday work to growth, but then all of a sudden what looks like an overnight success is 7 years of hard work, right? I'm gonna premiere part of our show that's coming out, and people be this is amazing. I'm like, dude, that is 6 years of my life of building these.
Wait a minute, you got a show coming out?
Yeah. It's called Effect Change. We won Best New TV Show at the Mammoth Film Festival.
Oh, congratulations,
yeah,
man!
It's cool. We take it could be a normal person up to an A-list celebrity, and then they get to pick who they want to affect. So essentially, it's the person that's never. They had that spirit, but they've never had the opportunity for a breakthrough. So we give them resources, coaching, guidance. It's pretty much teach everybody how to fish. It's very, very clearly all people helping people, empowerment based.
Are you like a Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful on the show?
I'm just the host. I'm the guide. I affect the first person and the last person every season because I think it's important. I much prefer to be behind the camera, but it's really important. I think with anybody is if you have a brand, they need to understand who's the person, why did they create that brand, and who is that person. So I'm just more. I like to be the guy that nobody knows. So as I do all the pre-production, I put all the people together. I just use this network that I spent the last.
You're the producer.
Yeah, I'm the producer. Yeah, but I mean, man, it's when you see somebody get that spark and belief in themselves, it's its own drug.
Jason, what is some of the key advice, key bullet points you want to leave our audience with for those entrepreneurs out there that are looking to, they may have to pivot because of what's happening with AI and Web3. What advice would you give them?
I would to me in my mind, there's there's no such thing as failure. I think it's the wrong word to look at it. I look at it I just learned a truth. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you're starting something or you're going your A to B, it's okay, I just found out that wasn't the direct path. So I'm just trying a different path, right? And so the more experience and the more that you try, just the more straightened path you're going to go on, right? So I just trust the journey. I think everything that you do has value. You'll never understand how something you maybe did 10 years ago is going to correlate into what you're doing in the future. But if I didn't build all these different things, I never thought I was going to be in TV. I never thought I was going to be in media, but I've always trusted that everything along the way has value. So trust that.
Well, you know what they say, content is king. Jason Neubauer, thank you so much for taking the time, man. I'm inspired by your story, and I think what you're doing is great, and I can't wait to see your TV show on whatever network it's going to be on. He won't mention it, but it's going to be on network. Thank you, Jason.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to On Air with Brandon J. Follow on Instagram at I am Brandon J.